Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Okala back again today with another Runeterra video. Today we are going to be playing a deck that we have recently called Handsome Vlad. It used to be Crimson Cavalry, but through a series of strange events, it is now called Handsome Vlad. We're just gonna hop into it, get right to it. We're not gonna be playing too much today. I'm just not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. But we have responsibilities and we've got dailies and we got to take care of business. So we're gonna hop right into it. Looks like we are going up against a Piltover and Zon Shadow Isles burn deck. So this is gonna be a very aggressive deck. Knowing that, let's keep the House Spider. Do we keep the Radiant Strike? We have no turn 1 play, so we'll carry over 1 mana, which will allow us to play Radiant Strike on turn 2 if need be, or on any turn, I guess, following turn 1. So I think Radiant Strike might be worth keeping. House Spider looks good, and it's kind of a risk, but I think we're going to keep Crowd Favorite. Okay, so we get the 3-drop. So we're not going to get the most use out of Crowd Favorite, which, when I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 for each other ally you have. So that means that we want to have as many creatures on board by turn 4 when we play this creature. House Spider works really well with this card because it generates 2 creatures for 1 card. So when I'm summoned, summon a Spiderling, which is a 1/1 spider. Synergizes really well with Crowd Favorite. We did end up keeping the Radiant Strike, and we didn't dig for a 1-drop creature, which we could have, but it was a little risky. I don't always like to gamble with the mulligan if I don't have to. So we opt out of House Spider and end up playing the War Chefs because we have a turn 3 play that synergizes well with this card. War Chefs, whenever it attacks, you're going to give my supported ally +1/+1 this round. Supported ally is the attack or the creature that is attacking to the right of this card is considered its supported ally. So we're going to play Laurent Protege on turn 3. We are going to make sure that we attack with Laurent Protege to the right of War Chefs, which will give Laurent Protege +1/+1. The reason why this card synergizes so well with War Chefs is because it has the tag Challenger. Challenger allows us to choose which enemy unit blocks as opposed to our opponent getting to choose. So this actually works pretty well because we kept Radiant Strike. Our opponent plays Frenzied Skitterer, which when I'm summoned give other allied spiders +1/+0, but more importantly, and in most cases, this card is actually used for its other ability, and give your enemies -1 this round. So he's reduced our attack, which would put us in a pretty tough spot if we didn't have Radiant Strike. Now, this doesn't mean that that we're guaranteed to get this Frenzied Skitterer or it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed a good trade. Our opponent could have Arcane Shot, Get Excited, even Mark of the Isles? And there's the Get Excited. So let's see what our opponent discarded with Get Excited. So we don't get a clean trade, but we actually do get quite a bit of value. Let's see. Okay, so our opponent discarded a Withering Wail with Get Excited, which means that we actually get quite a bit of value. We essentially traded 2 cards for 3 cards, which is a pretty good deal. Okay, so now we're going to set up for a turn 4 Crowd Favorite. We have a few options. We could play the Fiora and the Legion Rearguard, which would give us 3 creatures in total on the board, meaning that when we play Crowd Favorite on the following turn, we would have we would get +3/+3, or we could play the House Spider Legion Rearguard, carry a mana, which would give us 2, 3, we would have 4 creatures on the board and a mana in reserve for a Radiant Strike. So that's going to be our play. We're going for it. And since our opponent got rid of a Withering Wail with Get Excited, I mean, the deck that we're playing against, the normal deck list for this kind of like this Prankster Burn, this Elise P&Z Shadow Isles build, it actually doesn't run Withering Wail, so it's kind of strange to see it. Potentially could have more than one, but not likely that it has 3. It could have 2. Okay. So we do lose a Spider. We're not going to get a +4/+4 crowd favorite. But we do get a +3/+3 crowd favorite, which is good enough. Good enough. It's not great, but it's good enough. So our opponent has 5 mana. Are we going to see a Withering Wail come down? Nope. 2 spells drop. That's an Arcane Shot. Or a Mystic Shot, sorry. 2 Mystic Shots. I think this is a good opportunity for us to use Radiant Strike. And we are going to save our War Chefs. Because by doing so, we actually get more value in the long run. Yeah, our opponent has no mana, so we're good to go. Nothing he can do. He's going to take a lot of damage. Our opponent is down to 8. 4 cards, 5 cards in hand. We pick up the Bright Steel Protector, which is nice, which is good. We could play the Bright Steel Protector this turn. Actually, we could play the Bright Steel Protector this turn into another crowd favorite. And by doing this, our opponent is not going to be able to attack with the Elise, which he really wasn't able to make a good trade before the barrier came down. But this really gives him no option. There's no way that he can attack for any reason. And then we follow up with another crowd favorite. This one getting +4/+4 because we had 4 creatures on the field. And our opponent really having to scramble to just do whatever he can to kind of clean this board up. But at this point, it's just too little too late. And I think we could probably just go open attack. So this is one of the... What's different about Runeterra than some like other card games that I've played in the past is that there are stages. So like I will make a play and then my opponent will make a play. So right now I have the option to just open attack, which means that my opponent has no opportunity to play any kind of creature. Of course, he does have no opportunity to play creatures or slow spells. He still does have the opportunity to play fast spells. So we have to consider all these things when making our decisions. You know, is it worth just open attacking? Or do we get more value on the board, which potentially sets us up for when our opponent surrenders? So it doesn't really matter. But at that point, we had the game in the bag. There really wasn't much that he could do. He kind of just ran out of steam. We made better trades in the beginning. And against a hyper-aggressive deck, you know, if they either win fast or they lose fast. That's kind of all there is to those really aggressive decks that we just played against. So yeah, that's Handsome Vlad. Thank you everybody for hanging out. We'll see y'all next time.